Stop for a moment. Close your eyes and feel your heartbeat. Can you hear it? That's the rhythm of your life, fragile, precious, and fleeting. Every unhealed wound, every suppressed pain, every moment you ignore your soul's cry, it's taken away from the life you were born to live. Today, I am here to tell you, heal yourself before it's too late, because your spirit deserves peace, your mind deserves clarity, and your life deserves the fullness that only comes when you reconnect with the divine spark within you. We live in a world where distractions drown out our inner voice. We chase success, we chase approval, yet we forget the most important relationship we have, the one with ourselves and with the universal power that guides us. Healing is not just about the body, it's about the mind, the heart, and the soul. It's about reconnecting with the God within us, the energy that made us, the force that whispers to us in moments of stillness. And one day, you may wake up and realize it's too late. But today, right now, you have a chance to reclaim your life, your peace, your purpose. We often live as if pain is something to hide, a weakness to suppress, a secret that must never escape the walls of our mind. Yet, the moment we try to ignore it, it only grows louder. It whispers to us in small, persistent ways, through sleepless nights, moments of irritability, unexplained sadness, or a sense of emptiness that no distraction can fill. Think about the last time you felt hurt, but told yourself, "It's nothing, I'll be fine." That very moment, your soul was asking for acknowledgement, for recognition, for care. Denying your pain doesn't make it disappear. It buries it deep inside, and buried pain has a way of shaping your life quietly, subtly, like roots breaking the foundation of a house. Acknowledge your pain, because recognition is the first act of courage. Imagine a young woman who wakes up every day and puts on a bright smile, going through her routine perfectly. Everyone sees her as strong, capable, and unshakable. But inside she carries the weight of words that cut deep, failure she cannot forget, and moments of loneliness she has hidden from the world. Each unacknowledged hurt is a stone in her pocket, and the longer she carries it, the heavier it becomes. One day, she realizes that she cannot run from it any longer. She sits quietly, alone in her room, and whispers to herself, "It hurts. I am allowed to feel this." In that moment, she begins to breathe again. That simple act of acknowledgement, naming her pain, is the first step toward liberation. Pain is not a sign of weakness. It is a mirror showing us where we are human, where we have been wounded, and where we have yet to grow. Think of a child learning to walk. Each fall hurts, but each tear, each scrape is acknowledged and soothed, not hidden. If we treated our inner self with the same care, if we allowed ourselves to recognize our wounds without judgment, we would heal so much faster. Every time we tell ourselves to just get over it or stop feeling, we deny the divine part within us that feels deeply, that is made to experience, to process, and to transform suffering into wisdom. Acknowledging pain also allows us to reclaim our personal power. Picture a man who has been betrayed by a friend, someone he trusted completely. He pretends everything is fine, goes to work, laughs at jokes, and acts like the betrayal never happened. But the anger simmers beneath the surface, controlling his thoughts, his interactions, and even his decisions. One evening, he decides to stop pretending. He allows himself to feel the hurt fully. He writes down every thought, every emotion, and confronts the reality of what happened. As he gives his pain a voice, he finds clarity. The weight begins to lift. The energy he was unconsciously spending on denial now flows into his own growth, his own creativity, and his own healing. By acknowledging the wound, he transforms it from a silent prison into a source of insight and resilience. Our society often teaches us to move on quickly, to distract ourselves, to bury pain under work, social media, or endless noise. But healing does not come from avoidance, it comes from awareness. It comes from awareness. Every tear you allow yourself to shed, every pang of grief you admit to, is a gift. It is God's gentle nudge, reminding you that you are alive, that you are connected, that your spirit matters. Think about someone recovering from a serious illness. The physical pain is visible, but the mental and emotional pain is often silent. They face sleepless nights, frustration, and fear. Yet, when they finally acknowledge their inner struggle openly, with themselves or with a loved one, they begin to experience a sense of relief, a lightness that comes from bringing what was hidden into the open. Acknowledging pain also teaches us empathy. When we recognize our own wounds, we understand the struggles of others more deeply. We stop judging, stop dismissing, and start listening. Every time we allow ourselves to feel our pain fully, we also open our hearts to the pain of others. We realize that suffering is universal, and in that shared acknowledgement, we find connection, support, and even grace. So, look inside. Sit with yourself for a few minutes today. Ask, where am I hurting? What have I ignored for too long? Don't judge what you find. Don't rush past it. Give it space, give it words, and give yourself permission to feel. Acknowledge the broken heart, the lonely moments, the regrets, the anger, the fear. They are not enemies. They are signposts guiding you toward healing. In that acknowledgement, you take the first step toward freedom. You tell your soul, I see you, I hear you. You are real, and your pain is valid. Healing begins with honesty. Not with distraction, not with denial, not with pretending. True strength is allowing yourself to feel, to face, and to acknowledge the full spectrum of your emotions. Every step you take in that direction aligns you with the divine energy within, and every wound you recognize becomes a doorway to wisdom, resilience, and peace. When you acknowledge your pain, you no longer let it control you. Instead, you transform it, you transcend it, and you reclaim the life you were meant to live. We often carry the heaviest burdens in silence, not realizing that the weight we bear is not always from others, but from ourselves. Guilt, regret, and self-blame can be silent thieves of joy. Every mistake we've ever made, every opportunity we feel we've squandered, every harsh word we've spoken or action we've taken, these moments haunt us long after they have passed. And yet, the most important act of courage, the most transformative step toward peace, is learning to forgive yourself. Think of a young man who failed an important exam. He spent months preparing, sacrificing time with friends, family, and personal pleasures. On the day of the result, he saw his effort wasn't enough. Instead of acknowledging that failure is part of growth, he breaks himself every day. I am not good enough. I am a disappointment.
I am a disappointment.
That inner dialogue becomes a prison, chaining him to past mistakes. But imagine if, instead of continuing the self-criticism, he paused. Instead, because looked inward and said, I did my best. I gave my effort. I am learning, and I am allowed to fail. The moment he forgives himself, the chains break. The energy wasted on regret now flows into action, into learning, into resilience. Self-forgiveness is not ignoring your mistakes. It is accepting that you are human, that imperfection is part of life, and that growth comes from self-compassion. Forgiving yourself is also about reclaiming your power. When we dwell on past errors, we let them dictate our present. When we dwell on past errors, we let them dictate our present errors. Consider a mother who lost her temper with her child in a moment of stress. She replayed the incident over and over, feeling unworthy as a parent. Each time she remembered, guilt tightened its grip, leaving no space for love or patience. But when she forgave herself, she transformed that moment. She acknowledged her humanity, recognized that stress is natural, and promised to do better next time. That forgiveness freed her from the cycle of self-punishment and allowed her to approach the child with renewed kindness. Forgiveness is a tool to shift from being a prisoner of the past to being the architect of your future. We live in a world that encourages perfection. Social media, society, and even our own minds tell us that mistakes are unacceptable. But every human being stumbles. Everyone misses the mark, and every one of those stumbles carries a lesson, a subtle gift. Imagine a man who lost his job due to a business mistake. Initially, he wallowed in self-blame, convinced he had ruined his life. But when he forgave himself, he began to see the learning in the loss, skills to improve, areas to grow, and resilience he didn't know he had. What once felt like failure became a stepping stone to something greater. Self-forgiveness transforms mistakes into mentors rather than chains. Forgiving yourself is also an act of honoring the divine within. Every soul is sacred. And every human is guided by an inner divine spark. When you hold on to guilt, you dim that light. Imagine carrying a lantern through a dark path, but constantly covering it with your hand, afraid it might burn. The light still exists, but it cannot illuminate the way. Forgiveness removes the hand and allows your inner light to shine. It reconnects you with the God within you, the part of yourself that is infinite, perfect in its essence, and worthy of unconditional compassion. Think of forgiveness as water for a parched soul. A teenager who has failed to live up to expectations, a professional who missed a promotion, a friend who hurt someone unintentionally, they all need the refreshment of self-compassion. When you forgive yourself, you water your spirit. You allow growth, healing, and renewal to occur naturally. You stop the cycle of self-punishment and start a cycle of self-love. Forgiving yourself is not easy. It requires courage, humility, and honesty. It means looking at the moments you regret without hiding behind excuses or distractions. It means sitting with your discomfort and telling yourself, I am human, I am learning, I am evolving. Every time you do this, you heal a little more. You reclaim energy that was trapped in self-condemnation. You find clarity where there was confusion. You cultivate peace where there was chaos. Every day offers opportunities for self-forgiveness. Perhaps you spoke harshly to someone you love, or you neglected a responsibility, or you made a choice that didn't serve your highest good. Instead of ruminating, pause, reflect, acknowledge the misstep. Then gently tell yourself, I forgive myself. I release this burden. I am worthy of love and growth. Each time you repeat this practice, it becomes easier, more natural. Your mind grows lighter, your heart grows warmer, and your spirit reconnects with the divine energy that
ever abandons you. Forgiving yourself is not a one-time act. It is a lifelong practice.
Like tending a garden, it requires attention, patience, and care. But each seed of self-compassion you plant grows into resilience, clarity, and joy. The energy you reclaim can then flow outward, toward your dreams, your relationships, and your purpose. When you forgive yourself, you not only heal your own soul, but you create space to heal the world around you through kindness, understanding, and love. So today, give yourself the permission you've been waiting for. Stop punishing your soul for yesterday's mistakes. Stop doubting your worth Stop carrying the heavy chains of regret. Forgive yourself fully, completely, and without reservation. In that forgiveness, you reconnect with the divine within. You awaken your inner strength and you open the door to a life of peace, clarity, and endless possibilities. In the chaos of life, it's easy to forget that we are not just bodies moving through time. We are vessels of divine energy, intricate, sacred, and infinitely powerful. Yet, day after day, we drift further from that inner light. We fill our hours with distractions, comparisons, and noise, thinking we are busy or productive, while the essence of who we truly are waits quietly, patiently, beneath the surface. Reconnecting with your inner divine is not just a spiritual exercise, it is a return home, a reclaiming of your own power, peace, and purpose. Consider the man who wakes up every day, rushes to work, scrolls through social media, worries about bills, and goes to bed exhausted. At some point, he stops asking himself the simple question, who am I beyond all these tasks? His soul whispers in quiet moments, a fleeting thought, a subtle feeling, a longing he cannot name.
But he ignores it. Over time, that whisper grows stronger. He begins to feel restless, disconnected, or empty.
Even when everything on the outside looks fine. Bokwan det insto, bokwans indef, bokwans intef, you are, bokwans, im cried. Reconnecting with the inner divine is learning to listen to that whisper and act on it, to pause and honor the part of you that is eternal, wise, and inherently sacred. Imagine a young woman standing at the edge of a lake during sunrise. She feels the cold breeze on her skin, hears the water lapping gently, and sees the first golden light reflecting off the surface. In that moment of stillness, she closes her eyes, takes a deep breath, and feels something stir within her, a sense of awe, clarity, and peace. This is the divine speaking softly, reminding her that she is not separate from the universe, that she carries the same creative, transformative energy that flows through every sunrise, every tree, every heartbeat. Reconnecting with your inner divine often happens in these small, quiet moments when you allow yourself to truly be present. Reconnecting with your inner divine also means tuning into your intuition, the natural guidance that has been with you since birth.
Think about the teenager who is about to make a major decision, choosing a college, accepting a job, or following a dream. They feel nervous, uncertain, and overwhelmed by advice from everyone around them.
But deep inside, there is a subtle, steady voice, a knowing that whispers which path aligns with their true purpose. Trusting this inner guidance is trusting the divine within. When we ignore it, we follow paths that drain us. When we honor it, every step feels aligned, every choice infused with clarity and courage. Daily life offers countless opportunities to reconnect with this inner source. It can be as simple as pausing before reacting to a stressful situation, taking a moment to breathe deeply, and asking yourself, what is the highest, kindest, or most truthful response I can offer? It can be noticing the beauty in a flower, the laughter of a kite, or the warmth of a loved one's hand. It can be journaling your thoughts, meditating in silence, or walking barefoot on the earth and feeling the pulse of life beneath you. Each of these acts is a thread reconnecting you to the divine tapestry within. Reconnect with your inner divine by honoring your emotions without judgment. When you feel sadness, anger, or fear, do not push it away. Instead, acknowledge it as part of your human experience and offer it love and understanding.
Think of a person grieving a lost opportunity or a relationship.
Instead of trying to snap out of it or distract themselves, they sit with their feelings, breathe, and speak to themselves kindly. It's okay to feel this. My spirit is still whole. My divine light still shines. That acknowledgement turns suffering into understanding and transforms emotional turbulence into growth. Another aspect of reconnecting with your inner divine is recognizing that your life has unique purpose and gifts. Your life has unique purpose and gifts. Many of us get caught in comparison, measuring our achievements against others, forgetting that the divine flow works through each person differently. Consider an artist painting quietly in a small studio unseen by the world. Every brushstroke is infused with their soul, their energy, their creativity. Even if no one else sees it, the act of creation connects them to the divine, to their inner truth, to the fulfillment of expressing what only they can bring to the world. To denote curse what only they can bring to the world. Reconnecting with the divine often means valuing your own journey and contributions, no matter how small or unnoticed they may seem. Reconnection also teaches resilience. Life challenges, setbacks, and failures are inevitable, but when we are in touch with our inner divine, we find an unshakable source of strength. Think of someone who has lost everything in a sudden misfortune. While the external world may feel chaotic and cruel, they turn inward, close their eyes, and remember, the light of the divine is still within me. This realization does not remove the challenge, but it transforms their response, their act from courage, clarity, and centeredness rather than panic, blame, or despair. Ultimately, reconnecting with your inner divine is a lifelong practice, a conversation between your human experience and your eternal essence. It requires patience, presence, and intentionality, but every moment you invest returns to you tenfold in peace, guidance, and joy. It is the realization that you are never alone, that you are always supported, and that the energy of the universe flows through you, empowering you, healing you, and illuminating your path.
Take a moment now, right where you are, to close your eyes, breathe deeply, and feel the divine spark within you. Feel it pulse, steady and eternal.
Let it remind you of your value, your purpose, and your infinite potential. Reconnect with that light daily, in small and large ways, and watch as your life transforms, not because the world changes, but because you have reconnected with the divine power that has always been inside you. Letting go is one of the hardest things a human being can do, yet it is also one of the most powerful. We often hold on to people, habits, and thoughts long after they have stopped serving us simply because they feel familiar. But not everything that is familiar is healthy, and not everything that is comfortable is meant to stay. Sometimes what feels like attachment is actually a silent way pulling you away from your peace, your purpose, and your connection with the divine within you. Think about a person who stays in a friendship where they are constantly disrespected. Every conversation leaves them feeling drained, small, or unworthy, yet they continue to stay because of history, memories, or fear of being alone. Deep inside, they know something is wrong. Their inner voice whispers, "This is not right for you." But they ignore it, convincing themselves that things will change. Days turn into months, and months into years, and slowly their self-worth begins to fade. Letting go in this situation is not weakness. It is courage. It is choosing your inner peace over temporary comfort. The moment they decide to step away, they may feel pain, but alongside that pain comes a strange sense of relief, as if a heavy chain has finally been removed from their soul. Toxic attachments are not always people. Sometimes they are habits that quietly destroy us. Consider someone who spends hours every day comparing their life to others on social media. They scroll endlessly, watching curated versions of success, beauty, and happiness, and begin to feel inadequate. Why am I not there yet? Why is my life not like this? These thoughts slowly poison their confidence. The habit becomes addictive, even though it brings no peace. Letting go here means reclaiming control. It means putting the phone down, stepping outside, breathing real air, and reconnecting with real life. In that simple act, they create space for gratitude, clarity, and self acceptance to enter. Sometimes the most dangerous attachments are the ones within our own minds, negative beliefs we have repeated for so long that they feel like truth. I am not good enough.
And not good enough.
I always fail. I don't deserve happiness. These thoughts are not facts, they are patterns formed through past experiences. Yet, we cling to them as if they define us. Imagine a young student who failed once and now believes they are incapable of success. Every new opportunity is approached with fear, hesitation, and doubt. But the moment they challenge that belief, the moment they say, "This is not who I am, this is just what I experienced," they begin to break free. Letting go of limiting thoughts is like opening a window in a dark room. The light was always outside, waiting for you to let it in. Letting go also requires trust. Trust that when you release what is not meant for you, something better will come. Think of holding a glass tightly in your hand. The tighter you grip it, the more your hand hurts, and yet you refuse to let go because you fear losing it. But once you open your hand, the pain disappears. Life works the same way. When you cling to toxic attachments, you block the flow of positive energy. When you release them, you create space for growth, peace, and new opportunities guided by the divine. There is a story in everyday life we often overlook. A worker who stays in a job that drains their spirit. Every morning feels heavy, every task feels meaningless, but they stay because it feels safe. One day, they decide to listen to their inner voice. They take a step, even a small one, towards something that aligns with their passion. The path is uncertain, but their spirit feels lighter. Letting go of that toxic environment didn't just change their circumstances, it changed their energy, their mindset, and their connection to their purpose. Letting go is not about losing, it is about choosing. It is choosing yourself. It is choosing peace over chaos, growth over stagnation, truth over illusion. It is understanding that not everything in your life is meant to stay forever. Some people come to teach you lessons. Some habits exist to show you what doesn't work. And some thoughts arise only to be challenged and released. Yes, letting go can be painful. It can feel like tearing away a part of yourself. But what you are really doing is removing what was never truly part of you in the first place. Beneath all those attachments lies your true self, strong, peaceful, connected, and whole. Every time you let go of something toxic, you return a little closer to that truth. Start small. Notice what drains your energy, what disturbs your peace, what pulls you away from your highest self. It could be a conversation, a habit, or even a thought. Pause and ask yourself, is this helping me grow, or is it holding me back? And if the answer is clear, have the courage to release it. Not with anger, not with bitterness, but with understanding and calm strength. As you let go, you will begin to feel lighter. Your mind will become clearer, your heart calmer, and your spirit more aligned with the divine energy within you. You will realize that you were never meant to carry everything, that some things are meant to be released,